play a game of Planarist, you'll need everything that is included in the Planarist starter deck, which is one playmat, a main deck of at least 40 cards, a Planar deck of at least 10 cards, your Scion card, a group of tokens, 2 6-sided dice, and 1 10-sided die. So before beginning your first game of Planarist, you're going to want to determine who goes first. So let's roll off and see who begins. Great, so I got the higher number, so I'm going to begin. We're going to draw our opening hand of 5 cards each. In Planarist, you're allowed 1 mulligan. That means you can shuffle your entire hand back into the deck and redraw off 5 cards. But, you know, looking at this, I think I got a good hand, Kevin. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Okay, I'm going to start first. So to begin your turn in Planarist, you enter what's called the start phase. During the start phase, you're going to draw a single card from your deck and generate your Scion's mana. Since I am the first player of the game, I do not draw a card from my deck on the first turn. Instead, I'm just going to generate my mana and begin. Your Scion is your baseline passive source of mana. So in the top left-hand corner, normally that is the cost globe for cards and what it costs to play them, but your Scion instead tells you how much mana you generate each turn. So Renee, as you can see, generates me 3 mana. So with that being done, I'm going to enter my main phase. I'm going to start by playing a creature. I'm going to deploy the Devoted Peasant. All cards in the game enter upright, except for creatures. They enter sideways, which is what we call the winded position. So I played out my Devoted Peasant. You can see that it does not have a banner in the top left-hand corner. That means that I just freely play it out onto the board. I can only play one of these type of creatures each turn. So that's gonna be it for me. Just play a creature. It's your turn, Kevin. I'm going to untap. At my end phase, all of my cards that are not ready become ready, and now it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to begin with my start phase, which means I get to draw a card and gain my mana. I too have +3 mana on the top left of my Scion's card, which means I get to go to 3. For my main phase, I'm going to deploy the Novice Demon Caller. And in addition to that, I'm going to play an item, the Carved Effigy. This particular item costs 2 mana, so I have to go down to 1. And this item will generate me 1 additional mana at the start of my turn from now on. So that's all I can do for now, so I'm going to pass the turn to you and ready my creatures up.
So you'll notice that my mana is still at 3. Mana is retained between turns, so I'm gonna bump it right up to 6. It is a stockpile resource system. Like Kevin just did, I'm going to deploy my own creature, the Free Company Footman. This guy's interesting because he's got an point of armor, which means that he will reduce any regular standard damage that comes to him by 1. He's also what we call a blocker, so he's got a keyword. That's a bolded term in the effect text box. Blockers allow me to mess up Kevin's attack game, and you're going to see that later. So now that I've done that, I think I'm going to invoke the Devoted Peasant's effect. All effects in Planarist, except for spells, are playable only during your turn. Spells are a little special. Since it is my turn and it's the main phase, I'm going to go ahead and use the Devoted Peasant's effect. So he's in the ready position. I can ready tap him, and that simply allows me to tap into the Plane of Elysium and draw a card from it. Your planar decks on the side, you don't draw from them regularly, but when you get an effect to do so, that opens you up to the powerful interdimensional forces that lay in the beyond. So, with that in place, I think I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. Ready my cards and pass it over.
Okay, it's my start phase again, so I get to draw a card. And I generate my mana as well, which is 3 from Vargoth plus 1 from the Carved Effigy, so I go up to 5. Next, I will begin my main phase by deploying a creature, in this case, the Dark Disciple. So my Novice Demon Caller is in the ready position, which means that she's able to perform an attack. An attack just means a ready tap, where you declare the target, and the target takes the damage based on the combat of the attacking creature.
Well, not so fast, Kevin, because I have a blocker that I placed during my last turn. It also needs to be ready, and it has a triggered effect, which states that when you are attacking me, I can tap him from the ready position, and I can intercept your attack. However, normally in Planars, when you have an attacker and defender, they deal damage to each other equal to their combat. But because I blocked, I actually give up that counterattack, is what we call it. but I take the damage. Good news, I've got 1 point of armor, so that reduces the damage that my footman would have taken and make it 0.
Okay, since you blocked that attack, I think that's everything I can do for my turn. So I will return my cards to the ready position and pass the turn to you.
In my start phase, I'm going to generate 3 mana. I'm going to draw a card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Elysium and see what other support I can get. So I'm going to tap Renee, and I'm going to have her cast our first spell of the game. This is Prayer. It costs no resource, but it needs 1 magic in order to be cast. So I need to harness the magic of my forces in order to bring forth the spell. So I have 1 magic from Renee. That's enough to cast the spell. Spells are quite simple. You play them out, you do the effect, and then after that, they get sent to death if they're non-planar. So this is a non-planar spell, so it goes face up into the death plane. Its effect, I get to draw a card from Elysium. Now I'm going to declare attack of my own. I'm going to take my Devoted Peasant and I'm going to attack Vargoth for 2 damage.
All right, we have damage counters that go onto the creature or Scion who takes damage.
Yep, and that is persistent between rounds of the game. I'm going to go ahead and tap my Peasant. I'm going to tap my Scion, and that gives me 2 magical power, and I'm going to spend 1 mana. Takes me down to 8. I'm going to summon the Soul Shard of Joy. This planar creature has a couple of cool abilities. So the first thing is it's a ghost, and it has the ethereal keyword. This means that it's immune to any sort of standard mortal damage. So only planar damage or magical arcane damage from like fire or lightning can harm it. Now when it's played, it has a triggered ability where I target one of my allies, the Free Company footman here, and while my Soul Shard is on the board, it's going to have an additional point of combat. So that brings it up to 3 mighty combat. I think with that, I'm going to end my turn and ready all of my cards.
Okay, it's my turn again, so I get to draw a card and generate my mana. 3 from Vargoth, plus 1 from the Carved Effigy. The first thing I'll do in my main phase is deploy the Slaughter Cult Priest, and I think I will follow it up with an attack from the Dark Disciple at your Scion.
Well, I'm going to block your attack once again, taking no damage thanks to my armor.
I drew a card that I think I'm going to try and summon now. So I'm going to tap Novice Demon Caller. It allows me to use her to summon the Fire Imp using her 2 magic ability. I have to pay 1 mana as well. Now the Fire Imp's effect is when played, I get to deal 1 arcane damage to a target creature or Scion. And arcane damage is special because it can hit creatures such as your Soul Shard of Joy, which has the ethereal effect, and slay it.
So because my planar creature has been slain, and slain means that its health has gone to 0, it actually returns back to the plane from which it came. Because it is immortal, it never truly dies, so I could draw it again later in the game.
Now before I finish my turn, I'm going to use some of my mana to level up Vargoth Bloodbane. That is an effect that all Scions have, where if you have mana to spend, you can spend 3 of it in order to get a permanent +1 magic effect onto your Scion. This effect, like the damage counter, stays on your Scion, but it notates that I have 2 magic to spend with Vargoth instead of his original 1. I have nothing else I want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn to you and ready up my creatures.
All right, Kevin, I see you amassing your forces, so I'm going to begin my turn. Now I'm going to generate 3 mana. You'll notice I'm at 8. I can only ever have 10 mana at most, so that's just going to stop me right there at 10 mana. I'm going to draw my card for my turn. I think I need a little planar power here too, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Peasant, and I'm going to tap him. Use his ability to draw a card from Elysium. You know what's more fun than 1 Peasant? 2 Peasants. I'm going to deploy a second Devoted Peasant. So now with my second Peasant, I'm going to level up my Scion with 3 mana. It's going to buff up her magic now to a permanent 2. But since all of my cards are winded, Kevin, I can't actually attack you this turn. So I think with that, I'm just going to end my turn, and it's your move by readying up all of my cards.
Okay, my turn again. So I'll draw a card and gain my mana. I'll start with a deploy, my Forest Boar. And that actually puts me at 5 creatures on the board, which is the maximum. Next, I'll have my Dark Disciple once again try to attack Renee.
Ah, I will block that, defending my queen.
Well, with my board full, I think I'm going to now use my Slaughter Cult Priest effect. I have to tap him and sacrifice a creature, in this case my Dark Disciple, but in return I get to draw a card from Perdition. This is a strong card. I think I want to try and actually summon it this turn.
Uh-oh.
Now, normally you wouldn't be able to deploy a second creature in one turn, but the Forest Boar has a special effect called Reinforce, which means that I can deploy him as a second one. Next, I'll have my Novice Demon Caller attack Renee.
Nothing I can do about that. I will lose a ward. A ward is like a magical shield. It absorbs all damage from a single source and then disappears. On top of that, Renee has a special ability that when she loses her ward, I get to gain a mana for free.
Because my Fire Imp is also ready, I will have him attack Renee as well.
Once again, I'll lose my ward, draw a card, and gain a mana.
Now, before I end my turn, I think I want to make use of these Forest Boars, so I'm going to tap Vargoth for his 2 magic, and the Novice Demon Caller for an additional 2, adding up to 4, and I will sacrifice my 2 Forest Boar in order to summon the Unholy Shield Moon.
Uh-oh.
This deck has very powerful planar creatures, but they have a high cost as well. In this case, 2 sacrifices. Before I end my turn, I think I'm going to use my mana to level up my Scion once again. Go down to 5, but gain an additional magic. That's all I can do for my turn though, so I will ready up my creatures and pass the turn to you.
It's quite a powerful demon you've conjured. I'm gonna start my turn. I'm gonna draw a card. I'm gonna generate back to max mana. So in order to summon my angel, I'm going to go ahead and level up my Scion. So I'm gonna spend 3 mana and give her an extra point of magic. But first, I'm going to do some damage to you, Kevin. So I'm going to declare an attack from my Peasant to your Scion for 2 damage. And then I'm going to do it again for another 2 damage. Next, I think it's time to bring forth my angel. So the condition that my angel requires to enter the battlefield is I need to control less total combat than you. I have 6 combat currently, and I know that your shield main alone has 6 combat, so I have more than enough of the condition. So with that restriction met, I'm going to go ahead and summon her. So all I need is 1, 2, 3, 4 magic, and I need to spend 4 mana, which brings me down to 3. That will allow me to summon my mighty Muse of Battle. She has the special ability called Blitz, and that just means that when she's played in the ready position, which lets her attack immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and swing and deal 5 damage to your Scion.
I think I'm down to 5 health.
That's right, I'm going to get you on the next turn. So I think with that, I'm going to end my turn, and it is your move.
You got me in a pretty tough situation here, Harrison, but I think I actually have you. I'll begin my start phase by drawing a card and generating my mana. The first thing I'm going to do is equip the Damnation Blade to Unholy Shield Maiden. This is an equip item, and it is a 0 tap to play equip item, which means that Unholy Shield Maiden stays in the ready position even though it's equipped to her. So what I'm going to do is attack your Scion with my Unholy Shield Maiden for 8 damage.
I don't think so, Kevin. That's too much damage. I'm going to block that with my Footman.
Unfortunately, Harrison, I have an answer this time. I'm going to try to tap Vargoth with his 4 magic to cast Nightmare Snare.
Uh-oh.
The effect of Nightmare Snare is that it halts a target attacking or blocking enemy.
Well, that means that my block doesn't actually happen, but my tap is spent.
So your Scion takes 8 damage.
Oh, wow.
That leaves your Scion with 4 health, Harrison, and I think I have enough damage to actually finish you off.
Oh, no.
I'll attack you with my Fire Imp, my Novice Demon Caller, and my Slaughter Cult Priest for game.
Good game.
Good game. That was a full game of Planarist, but there were a couple things we didn't cover in that introductory video.
That's right, Kevin. There's more rules, planes, and other things to explore. Please check out our rules linked in the description below, and follow us on social media and explore our website to discover the dark fantasy world of Planarist.